I know. Where in the hell have I been? Don't worry. The project's not on hold. I haven't forgotten about you guys. I heard from a lot of fans who were like, Matt, what's up? What are you doing? What are you working on? I've been really busy. First, I was out of town for a week, and then when I got back, I went on a garage rearranging and tool buying frenzy. So this is going to be a little bit of a different episode. If you're not into seeing how people's shops are set up, this may not be interesting, but if you are, come on a tour. I'll show you what I've done, a little bit I've done on the truck in the meantime. You guys can tell me if you think, purchase was a bad idea or if you think there's anything else I need, and give me some guidance. Before we get into that, I just want to give a special thanks to Tom from Lick Creek Restorations. Check out Lick Creek's Facebook page. He does some super clean work on Broncos. I mean, it's like show quality stuff, and he's been giving me great advice, and I really appreciate that. And I've talked to Brian and Dave and Frank, other viewers. We've been exchanging ideas, and I've been listening to their ideas for projects. Brian picked up a Bronco and his videos on the YouTube channel as well. I'll try to insert a link. Anyway, thank you for the interaction and the communication. Let's get to the shop tour. Let's start with the big beast, the Harbor Freight 60-gallon two-stage air compressor. Now, I know it's Harbor Freight, but the tank's made in the States, the motor's made, or the pump's made in Italy. How bad could it be, really? I don't know if I'm going to be in this house 1 year or 10 years, and, I don't have the ability or the means to buy a $2,500 air compressor. I mean, this is a lot of money, and I feel like it's a good value for the dollar. I can fix it if it goes bad or whatever, so I rolled the dice and I got it. Before I installed it, though, I disconnected this finned copper hose that runs from the compressor head into the tank and replaced it with a common setup you'll see internet videos on all the time about cooling the air before it gets to the tank. Basically, I've got a copper tube, soft copper tube, runs to a derailled transmission cooler. That then runs into my into black pipe on the wall, goes up and down, 2 drip legs at the bottom, into a moisture removal, and then over. And I've put the radar gun on it. It goes into the derail cooler hot, comes out cool. So I think it's going to give me a lot of good, cool, dry air. And this is just the regulator. I haven't mounted it on the wall yet because I've got a rapid air system, and I'm going to put several drops in along the shop wall. So hopefully this will be good for my grinding and air hammering and painting or whatever else I'm going to be doing for the project. Normally I don't really like walk around videos like this because it's not steady camera work, so just bear with me. I bought a couple of new shop lights because I wanted more light in certain areas. I bought a ton of, not a ton, some steel tubing and L-angle for bracing the body. I bought a stand for working on body parts. This is the body cart that's made of Unistrut. I need to put that together. I bought that off of Craigslist. Should be pretty cool. I mean, I bought it basically because it's interesting, and it'll work. The Bronco pulled the rear tank out. Not a big deal that I remember, except, of course, some bolts broke off. But just be careful. Make sure you drain. I siphoned all the gas I could out of it before I pulled the tank. Moving on, one of the reasons for the big air compressor is that, which is a Harbor Freight 40-pound blast cabinet. I've ordered the upgrade kit from Tacoma Company. We'll see how it works out once I get it. I used to have 2 tables here, 2 5-foot tables here, and I've replaced it with 1 additional cart from Harbor Freight. I just needed additional storage. And I've got a bench grinder stand. I bought the Harbor Freight 8-inch bench grinder, but it vibrated itself nearly to pieces. So I've got a Craftsman on the way. I'm going to get that old air compressor out of the way. I got the Hobart here, put my fluids up on the wall, and I've got my engine stand and jack stands over here in the corner. I sort of refurbished my table. I got a 3/4-inch plywood top for it and coated it, so I've got a nice work surface to work on. Moved the tools over here, and I had the the engine hoist, and then behind that is the 20-ton press because you can crush things. On the Bronco, I pulled the headers, which is basically all I've done since you guys saw me. Oh no, one more thing I'll show you. I've got a 241 MP241 transfer case down there. That's for the Scout. Hoping to do a 700 R4 conversion later. I've got the bucket with a dust deputy. That's for dust collection. Also, I pulled, I'm going to take you down here. I pulled all the stuff off the firewall and I left a big gaping hole. I mean, it's just totally chewed up there. And a lot of guys have asked me, you know what, actually I'm going to switch camera angles and talk about that where you can see my ugly mug. Along with the stuff I showed you, I also picked up a lot of tools that I think I need for the job. A portaband, which is probably the nicest tool I own now, but that'll come in handy for a lot of reasons. I've got the table conversion coming for that as well, which should save a lot of time. I was originally going to go with a chop saw, but I think these are a lot cleaner, even though they're slower. So I'm going to go with that. Thanks to Frank for that recommendation. Some paint guns, vibratory tumbler, and a cheapo drill press. I'm not showing you this stuff to look at what I have. I mean, that's, you know, materialism is, these are the tools I need to do the job. Maybe you can do it with less. A lot of guys do it with more. This is just what I have the means for, and I'm thankful for every dollar I've earned and can buy this stuff with it. And don't forget, you can lose it in an instant, so be thankful for your health. I'm gonna get off my soapbox and start talking about the Bronco again. Oh, after I show you this one more thing. Hose reels, dude. You gotta have them. Okay, so with the Bronco, a lot of guys have asked me to show them the rot. The truck's brown, so the rot really doesn't come up. I'm gonna wait till I get it sandblasted and then I'll show you. But basically the hood's good, the front grill's good, parts of the firewall definitely good, parts of the cowl are definitely good. A lot of the bed is okay, but most of the floor is rotted out up here. Some of the kick panel, the fenders where they meet here I have to strip and check. All here in the corners behind the B pillars rotted out, and you know, I don't know if that's surface rust around the rear wheel wells or not, and the inner fenders, which you've seen. So, you know, not a big deal. I was going back and forth of whether to pull the body first or the engine and transmission first. I've loosened the transfer case handle. It's my denatured alcohol for starting fires, not in the Bronco. Loosen that, you know, taking apart what I need to pull the body. So now I just need to finish getting these bolts out, brace it, pull the body, throw it on the body cart, and then start working on the drivetrain and frame refurbishment and suspension. I also need to call the local blasters. I need to call the local plating shop, figure out schedules, pricing. There's a lot of research to be done. That's what I've been doing really, is reading, organizing, getting my tools set up so that once I pull this body off, I feel like that's a big stage, and maybe I'm making more of it in my head than I should, but once I get the body off, I gotta start making progress. So I'm sorry, this has really just been a talking episode, not a doing episode, but this is really part of the project. So you gotta go slow to go fast, and I'm going slow. So I will see you guys next time, and I'll actually get some work done, I promise. Bye. Osfo, tip from Tom. It's good for neutralizing rust.